What's up, everybody? Big Mac here, and you are watching My Two Cents. Today, I'll be giving you my 2 cents on the Clippers owner scandal. Now, everybody's been blowing up over this thing, but I feel like there are certain aspects that everybody's just been glossing over it. So I'll break this whole thing down into two parts. First, I'll talk about the conversation itself. Then I'll talk about the NBA's reaction to this whole thing. So let's just jump into the conversation. Well, after watching the video, well, even during watching the video, I mean, the first thing that jumped out to me is why is it even being recorded to begin with? I mean, having an uncomfortable conversation is hard enough. But who thinks, well, let me record this? I don't get that part. I mean, the thing that springs to mind is you doing it, A, to have evidence just in case the situation escalates, or B, you're trying to expose or exploit someone for your own personal gain. I mean, and if that's the case, you're not a victim in it. So I don't know why she would feel like she need to record it. I mean, that just, I don't know. Maybe I'm connecting a dot that shouldn't be connected or something, but that's just the first thing that sprung to mind. Like, all right, this is a serious private conversation, but it's being recorded. That just turned gears in my head. But I don't know. No one else has said that. No one else has come out and said that. But that's what I thought. All right. The second thing is throughout the whole conversation, I mean, Donald Sterling, he was just kind of all over the place. I mean, one minute he's saying he doesn't have a problem with black people. The next minute he's saying, they're the enemy. Then he's come back and said, you do what you want. I don't care. I don't have a problem with them. Then he's come back and he's like, don't do it publicly. I mean, and he's like angry at one point. Then he's calm again. Then he's angry again. I mean, that just weirded me out to think. I'm like, who talks like that in the conversation? I mean, I understand if you're so upset to the point that you can't make out your words, or certain things just don't flow right in your brain. But who's just bipolar in the middle of a conversation? Like, I don't get that. And then the third thing that kind of came out to me was, why does she just keep egging them on? I mean, just every time he's like, you know what, let's kill this. It's like, but I just don't understand, and I just don't believe, and it's like, even like 8 minutes into this thing, I'm looking at it like, will you shut up? He's trying to end the conversation, be it a good or bad thing for him to do. He's trying to end it, and but I just don't understand. I don't. I'm like, look, what are you looking for? What are you digging for? I mean, to me, she was obviously trying to pull something out of him. And again, that lends credence to why she would record it in the first place. I Again, like I said, I might be connecting dots where they shouldn't be connected, but that's how my brain works. And for some reason, no one else's brains works that way. But that's what I see when I saw that. I'm not trying to put out anything. I'm not saying she did this on purpose, but it just makes me question things. It makes me think, why would you do that? And why would you keep egging them on? And the last thing that I was thinking about while I was watching it is, why am I watching this? How am I watching this? Why does TMZ have this before any other kind of media outlet, before ESPN even has it? This is the guy who owns a sports team, and ESPN, the sports network, had to get this from a gossip website. And that's basically what TMZ is, a celebrity gossip website. How did they get this? I mean, again, connecting dots where they shouldn't be connected. But it all makes sense in my mind that, things happen in this conversation for a reason. She kept egging him on. She kept provoking him to say certain things. But I just don't get why you're racist. I hate that you're racist in your heart. After he's come back and said, whether he meant it or not, he's saying he doesn't have a problem with black people. Apparently, he doesn't have a problem with her because she's mixed. She's black and Hispanic. So I don't know where she's getting all that from. But that's just me. That's just the way I think. And maybe a few other people think that way too. But I mean, the whole situation doesn't seem exactly as it's being purported. That's why I think on that one. So that's the whole conversation part. That's a few days old. More people have different opinions on that, but that's where I got on that one. Now the second part of this whole thing that just kind of made me think really hard on it is the NBA's reaction to it. Now, as I was watching this on ESPN, I noticed they had a whole investigation going on it. I'm like, well, why is the NBA investigating a private conversation? And before I even go on this video or even more on it, let me point out that this was a private conversation between a man and a woman. Well, no one else should even be talking about this right now. This was a private conversation. He didn't come out publicly and say, I hate black people. He didn't do anything illegal by having this conversation and having these feelings, but somehow we're entrenched in all of this stuff now. So let me get back to the NBA's reaction on this. Now, the whole thing I was thinking about, okay, well, why the NBA like investigating this situation? I mean, what's the wrong? Is there some sort of clause that you can't like a certain person in the NBA or something? If that's the case, they may as well suspend a lot of other players. Because I'm pretty sure there are players in the NBA who don't like black people, don't like white people, don't like Asian, Mexican, whatever. I'm pretty sure they have to investigate the entire freaking organization if that's some sort of clause, if that's some sort of reason why they should investigate it. So it came out today that they're fining him $2.5 million, which really isn't much to him if he's an NBA owner, if he owns a team, and he's paying people probably 10 times that amount. So I'm pretty sure that doesn't hurt him at all. But still, why fine him? What's the reason for fining him? Because he had a private conversation with someone in his life, and it was leaked out to the media, and now he's being fined for that. He didn't break any laws by saying that, but somehow he's being fined. He can't speak a certain way. Is that the case? I don't know. Second, he's being banned from all NBA games. Now, that's the one tricky part to this, to me. I mean, on the one hand, yeah, I get it. You want to set an example. This is the NBA. We want certain people here. We don't want any kind of negativity brought onto this organization. And if he's apparently he's been like alleged for racism in the past, like years past, on more than one occasion. And there's court documents of that. And he's been sued a bunch, and it's all been settled out of court, which is a whole different conversation I want to have later in a later video. But specifically to this situation, they've been fining him. Now they're banning him. And if he even comes out and says, yes, I'm racist, I get why they would ban him, and that part I can kind of live with. But the fact that he just said, okay, you're banned, we're fining you, and now they're going to try to force him out of owning the team, which is another part to that kind of makes me think. I mean, well, they have to get 75% of the owners in the NBA to agree with saying, okay, now you don't have your business. Which, if he's got that kind of money, even if he's got, you know, enough money to have a $2.5 million fine and not feel it, I'm pretty sure he'll be fine. But to force him out of the organization over something that is not 100% proven, even though he's gone on record saying that black people are the enemy. I mean, he said it. You can see it yourself. But he's also going in the same conversation. He says he doesn't have a problem with black people. But for the NBA to come down like that on him over a private conversation that was not made public, that was leaked out, there seemed to be no illegal doing on that. I mean, if there was, that's another case for another day. Come out with the facts before you make some sort of judgment. But I don't know. That's my whole thought on that. I mean, I don't see why the NBA will come down so hard on just speculation on something, or why they even felt like they needed to investigate it if there were no illegal actions going on or even taking place. That's what I think on that. So I'd like to know what you guys think in the comments down below, and I'm pretty sure you have a lot of comments on that. My official opinion on it is, let's just get some facts in before we start swinging the hammer and making final decisions on things. I mean, the only one thing I can probably stand behind is banning them from games and from the organization, because that's bringing a certain light to that organization, and I understand you don't want any kind of negativity brought into that. And if it can be proven that he's done, you know, racist things in the past, or he has racist feelings toward any other race or gender or whatever, that's something I can probably get behind. But like I said, it has to be something he's publicly done and said. It's something they can prove. Thank you for viewing this video, and this is a weird way. This is a weird way to end the video. Maybe I should have thought about this one before I did it. But here you go. Thank you for viewing this. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and also go to my Facebook page, facebook.com/bigmacproductions. And go ahead and like that, because I'll be doing things on Facebook that you won't see here on YouTube. And you can also get some behind-the-scenes stuff, like maybe some blooper reels, or there were plenty on this one video alone, I can tell you that. But once again, thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you guys next time.